The man in the static. There are some stories people only tell when the power goes out, because darkness makes them believable. It happened in the winter of 2008, in a town called Varnor, a strip of cracked road, dead fields, and wind searching for something. I was staying with my older sister Mara after our father died. He'd been buried 3 weeks earlier. Silence had changed shape for us. Mara lived alone in a narrow house with a television that was always on. Our father died in his chair facing the screen. Heart attack. But Mara said he called her at 1:14 a.m. the night before. He whispered, "He's standing behind the screen. Don't turn it off." 3 nights later, the power went out. One moment, blue glow. The next, everything snapped black. Then, the television came back on by itself. Mara came into the room holding a candle. The static crackled louder. It sounded wetter than static, like whispering through rain. A dark vertical shape passed through the white noise. Then, through the hiss, we heard a voice. Lena, spoken in my father's voice. Something leaned close from the other side, a mouth too long to be natural. It pressed forward against glass. Then the face smiled. The power returned. The television went black. Mara made a broken sound. I rushed to unplug the set, my hands shaking badly. He had been seeing someone in his television, in reflections, in static, only when he was alone. A tall man in dark clothes. I became obsessed. That evening, while Mara was at work, I plugged the television back in. I wanted to see it more clearly. At 3:11 p.m., the volume rose by itself. Underneath the static, I heard breathing, slow in, slow out. Then he took a step. Knock. I ripped the cord from the wall. The screen went black. Then another reflection stood behind mine. I whipped round. No one there. Over the next 4 days, the phenomena spread to every screen. The microwave clock, my phone, dark computer monitors. Wherever I went, knocking. Mara was smashing mirrors with a hammer. At the doctor's office, the TV turned to static. A voice whispered, "She can see him now." Around 1 a.m., knocking started from the hall closet. My father's voice came through. "Lena, please, it's dark in here." Mara shrieked and threw the lamp. The television exploded. Glass and sparks blasted across the room. Then something moved across the carpet. The man unfolded from the wreckage, taller than he had any right to be. Skin like wet paper. "You opened," he said. Darkness dropped over us. Every covered screen came alive. The house filled with static and many voices crying, begging, whispering warnings. We made it outside into the freezing yard. Every window glowed static white. In each one stood the man. All lifted one hand and knocked. Mara and I left town. Years passed, but the world filled with doors, security monitors, billboards, car dashboards, black mirrors waiting to wake. Yesterday, Mara called. She whispered, "He isn't in the screens. That's just where he practices. He's learning how to be seen." I found an email with an image. Mara in a dark room holding her phone. And behind her, one hand on her shoulder, was the man. Now the phone has stopped ringing, but I can still hear something. 3 soft taps. Lena, don't let him see you looking back.